Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing another net worth update. This time we're doing the month of July. We're going to go over the changes in both our assets and our liabilities and see where those changes affect our net worth for the month of July. We think it's important to be 100% transparent with you guys in our journey, and we also think that these exercises in tracking our net worth is helpful to show you how to do it as well, so that you can see your progress, because sometimes this journey to financial independence can feel like forever. And so having these records to go back and see your progress is encouraging and motivating, and it just really helps you to see that these little incremental changes in your life, they do add up and they all count. So stick around for about 6 seconds and we'll be right back. Hey everybody, again, welcome. I am Wendy. I am one half of the House of Five podcast. Thank you for joining us. We are all about helping moms and dads spend less, save more money, dump debt, and build wealth on the road to financial independence. Again, today we're doing our July net worth update. We're excited to share these numbers, as well as you'll see in some of these changes here, it kind of is a little teaser for one of our next videos that's coming about some big news that we have. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and ring that bell so you get notifications of when those new videos come out, so that you don't miss any of these. Well, we're just going to dig right in today. We're going to get right into our liabilities. All right, I'm going to bring up the first slide, and that is our liabilities. Now, just like last month, we did not have much of a change in our liabilities, and that is primarily because our student loan payments right now, they're on hold, and we're using the money that would have been allocated to those monthly to we're funneling that into other areas to both save money as well as put it into our potential investment properties. So really the only decrease was due to the mortgage payment on our rental properties. So for July, we really only had a net difference of $580. Again, a good change from start to finish. What we started with versus where we're at now is, if you know our story, you know that we started with over 1 million in debt, and we have since decreased that exponentially. We also have an old IRS bill hanging around from my private law practice when I first started, that we're renegotiating the monthly payment on that, and those should start soon, so we should start seeing that balance go down again as well. So that's where we are with our liabilities in July. I wanted to talk a minute about the liabilities. I got a little bit of flack in our last net worth video about how high our liabilities were, and someone criticizing us for not really knowing what we were doing with our liabilities. And what I want to make clear is that we know that this is an unusual situation to have so much debt and be in this stage in life. This was the whole point of us kind of taking on these principles of the FIRE movement. But given our age and given the timeline to retire and the amount of debt we have opted to approach our student loan debt in a very non-traditional manner. We are utilizing the public service loan forgiveness program for my husband's portion of those student loans, which is about 1/3 of that. And for mine, it makes the most financial sense for us to, instead of paying that off quickly, and because it's a lot, it's $249,000, I believe. I'm not looking at the screen right now, but it's a lot. And what our strategy is for that is to put the money that we could have used to pay off that loan faster and put it into a rental property that will give us income and pay that student loan payment for us. Since I'm no longer working in the legal field, I'm not making as much money, so our monthly payment isn't very much, and so our rental income on one of our houses will cover it. And so when we do the financials, when we add up the actual money flowing out of my pocket and into my student loan versus what it would have cost for me to pay that off early, I come out ahead by doing it the way that we're doing it. This is by no means the way that others should do it. This is the way that works for us, and this is the way that the numbers make sense for us. So, to those of you out there who are a little bit critical of what we're doing with our debt and don't think that we know what we're doing, we do know what we're doing. We have talked this over with some fairly knowledgeable people and experts in this community. So rest assured, we know what we're doing. Our plan is sound. It is just not for everybody. All right, so now that we're clear on that, let's get back to the numbers. All right, so let's take a look at the assets slide. So as you can see here again, when we started tracking in May of 2017, the bulk of our assets was in our home. We didn't have any savings. We didn't have any other sort of assets. We had just started contributing to Curtis's retirement. By June, we had increased that significantly. We had our rental properties, we had our emergency fund, and then we had my husband's retirement, putting our assets to over $211,000. So even though in June this amount was significantly less, it was primarily in liquid assets, which I think for our scenario with so much debt is very, very important. So then let's look at the changes between June and July. As you can see, this number on our rental properties has increased significantly. How could that be in 1 month? Well, that's what I wanted to explain today, and that's kind of the teaser for an upcoming video, is that we are on the search for another investment property. And so in the course of that search, we made an offer. And you can see that in one of our last videos, we made an offer on a 4-unit deal. Well, those 4 units were very, very similar in size and location to our existing 4 properties. And they were valued at $39,900, and they were sold in less than a day. That's why we lost out on them. So in speaking with our realtor, I asked her to give us a value of what our properties were worth. And in that conversation, she indicated she believed that if we were to sell our properties, they would be worth $35,000 a piece, which when I times that before is the $140,000. So our homes didn't increase in value in 1 month by $36,000. It's just that I adjusted the value to be their market value now. So that explains the nice increase that we see here in our net worth. And as you can see, our savings went down a little bit. That was actually due to several shifts in money back and forth, taking some money out to make our earnest money deposit and then putting money back in. And so those numbers fluctuated just a little bit. And these numbers are pretty much the same as well, because when I calculated June's numbers, the withdrawals for July had already posted. So this difference here is really just because of when I got the balances. And so what we see here is an increase in interest. Well, we should see a much larger increase when we track these in July. So there you have it. Those are our assets. Now we'll calculate our net worth. Your net worth is your assets versus your liabilities. Your assets are anything that has a cash equivalent. So those are things that have like a money equivalent, but it also can be property, things like your home, your vehicle, art, jewelry, etc. In my calculations, I do not include our vehicles. I do not include any other personal property. The only thing that I would include if I had it was my house and the equity in a house. I don't calculate the other things because I think their value is minimal, and especially on vehicles, those depreciate so quickly. So I just don't do that. So your assets versus or minus your liabilities, and your liabilities is anything that you owe to either someone else or an entity or a bank, etc. You take your assets, you minus your liabilities, and there you have your net worth. So as you can see here, when we take into account the changes from June to July, we have a shift in our growth in our assets of $36,000, $623, which is nice. The bulk of that, however, is the correction in the fair market value of our investment properties. What I want to point out is that we do have a negative net worth. However, if we look at where we started back in May of 2017 to July 31st, we have decreased our negative net worth by $137,932, which I think is super awesome. And in that time frame, we have created liquid net worth of over $100,000. So in less than 3 years, we've significantly changed our financial future. So there you have it, everyone. I hope that these slides and showing you the changes to our net worth over time is helpful. I hope that you find value in it, and be sure to check back next week because we'll be able to talk about our status of our new investments. We'll see if we have one, what did we get, all of the numbers, and we'll walk through that with all of you. So please come back next week. We'll see you then. Bye.